what you've all been waiting for. It's Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. With me and David. It's Taco Tuesday. Yeah.
All right.
It's all the time to make tacos. We're going to bring it up to the next level with a whole new way to make tacos. It's a vegetarian version. You can add meat if you want, but I'm going to be doing the veggie taco on my end. What are you going to be doing on your end, David?
I think I'm also going to be doing the veggie end. But, you know, if you have some meat, if you just cut up real thin and cook it up, that would go really, really well.
Good stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, for all those who will be watching now and also later, I am joined by my amazing Team Battle Chef Ambassador, David. David, can you introduce yourself, please?
So, my name's David. I'm 16 from Brooklyn, New York. I've been an ambassador for quite a while now. And well, I'm really excited to do this with you today.
We're excited to have you. David's been born basically cooking. His mom is our director of nutrition. And now he has his own cooking shows that he does himself.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fun.
He's coming back to his roots with us here on our Fuel Up classes. So with being an expert, David, can you tell us a little bit about how to keep things clean in the kitchen?
Right. So hygiene, especially in a kitchen, is incredibly important because when you're cooking, a lot of times it's not just for yourself. You're doing it for a lot of other people too, so you have to be especially careful. So make sure, first things first, wash your hands. Clean hands, especially now in COVID, they go a long way. You know, sing the birthday song twice and just make sure you're hitting everything, like between the fingers, between the fingers, on top, behind, everywhere. Then make sure that your hair is tied up if you have enough, because the last thing you want is hair inside your meal. I mean, it's really hurt. And then make sure your sleeves are rolled up, because if I have my sleeves that are dangling here, they can, go a bit from one ingredient and touch the other and just put it everywhere. And it's dirty, for your sleeves and for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically, and yeah, make sure that and also make sure to try to have a cloth with you so you can clean your station every time.
A garbage bowl. So a bowl to put stuff that you're cutting up, so you don't have to keep running back and forth to the trash can. I like to make my chef zone the Zen zone, and that's a really easy way to do that is by having a garbage bowl so that all of your extra scraps have a place to live. Okay, for safety as well, we want to keep ourselves safe with our knife. We are going to be using a knife today in class to be chopping up some ingredients.
That is smoked and not sweet, so you have to use very little.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is our knife, and one thing we want to be mindful of is we want to wrap all 4 fingers on our knife to keep a nice strong grip. A lot of people like to put their finger on top of the knife to whack it, but that actually reduces the grip a lot. So you want to keep your hand nice and strong.
Try it out. If you put a finger on it and you just kind of press on a table, you can see it starts to bend. It starts to do like that.
Exactly.
Like, look at my second camera. It does like that.
And then we also want to have our thumb right where the blade of the knife meets the handle of the knife. So this is where the strongest grip of the knife, the strongest point of the knife is. So having your hand very firmly grasped around the knife keeps yourself and anyone you might be cooking with safe. Another thing to note is if you are cooking with your friends like Lainey and Jojo are, if you have a knife and you're moving around, you want to keep your knife by your side. And you want to keep it straight by your side. You don't want it to be sticking out behind you. You want it to be nice and safe by your side. And as you're walking around, you say knife behind. And that's actually what they say in professional kitchens all over the world. So you are becoming a professional chef in your very own kitchen. Okay. So today, now that we have explained how to keep things safe, I think it's time to show our mise en place. What do you think, David?
I think that's a great idea. Let's do it.
Cool. So for today's class, I'm going to be using chickpeas. These are a type of legume or bean. But if you don't have chickpeas around, you don't have to use chickpeas. You can use black beans, red beans, this is a protein-packed ingredient. We just want to include something that is going to have a meaty texture and is going to have a lot of protein in your diet. We're also going to be using feta cheese. Feta cheese does have a lot of salt in it naturally, so that means that we actually don't have to add extra salt. We can add a little tiny bit extra, but just being mindful that if you are using feta cheese, there's already natural salt into it, so don't want to overload your mouth with too much salt. We're also going to be using spinach, which is full of iron and all these different amazing vitamins and also fiber that keeps you full and fueled up throughout the day. But you also can use other kinds of leafy greens. So arugula is another good option. Kale is another good option. Any leafy green would be great. We're also going to be using an herb called parsley, and this will allow for us to have a nice fresh bite at the end of the dish. But you can use other types of herbs like cilantro or basil. Those are other great options. This recipe allows for a lot of flexibility. What are you going to be cooking with today, Davida? So you have a...
Oh yeah, I'm going to be adding a tomato. And I'm going to try to be really careful because the problem with tomatoes is that they have a lot of juice in them, which is delicious. But especially in something that's going to be a lot more dry, you don't want it to overflow too much. So I'm going to be adding, some of my tomatoes. And at the end, I'm going to put a bit of sesame on top of my taco because last time we did the breakfast taco, I realized that sesame goes so well as a finisher.
Oh, yum. It also probably makes it look really pretty too.
It does. It really does.
So these tacos, we're making them for later in the day, but you can eat tacos all different times of the day. So we have a first question for you. When is your favorite time to eat a taco? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? I know that I like to eat them all the time. So.
That should have been an option.
Yeah, all the time, all day for snacks.
I have to agree with you. I mean, all the time. They're good anytime. But probably my choice would be lunch. Because I don't know if I'd have the mental will to make myself a taco in the morning.
Yeah, this is a really great option to have any time of day. And you can have them for a snack too, if you make just one taco. For this recipe, I'm going to be making 4 portions. So this is a great option to either like have 2 and split, or just share a little bite with 4 different people. So we also have another question for you. What country does the taco originate from? Are they from Spain or Mexico? What do you think that they're from?
Ooh, can I answer that?
If you are able to vote, you can answer the question. Yes, you can. I
don't think I'm allowed to vote.
You cannot vote.
I'm a co-host.
But, there we go.
Oh.
Mexico. Yeah.
Mexico. Yeah.
You're right. You did it. Good job. So can you share the history of the taco with us, David? I know that you know about it.
So the taco is originally from Mexico, and tacos come from it for, thousands of years of history from these corn
Tortilla.
Tortillas, sorry. The corn tortillas that a lot of Mexican mothers would make using ground corn, and they would do it on top of a certain type of limestone that would give it better properties to the corn tortilla, which was a really fun fact I learned.
Oh, fun fact. So it's actually found that people in Mexico made tacos before the Spanish arrived in 1519.
Wow.
So we are actually eating a little piece of history in 2021. So I think I'm getting hungry talking about tacos. So I think it's time to start getting everything ready, don't you think? I
think so too. Let's do that.
Okay. So we're going to go down to the chef zone. So what I like to do with every dish that I make is prepare all of my ingredients before I start cooking. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to prepare our onion. For the onion, we're going to use our knife technique called the tunnel. So that allows for us to stabilize any ingredient that is roly-poly to make sure that it's nice and safe as we're cutting it. So we're going to create our tunnel. We're going to grab it with our non-dominant hand, and we're going to put the knife right in the middle of the tunnel and press down. Cut straight through. And this is a pretty big
onion. Because look at this, it's enormous.
Oh, wow.
My half is bigger than yours.
Should we mention that the recipe card says raw, but we're gonna cook?
Yeah, so we're gonna cut this in half again. And what we're gonna do in today's recipe is, because it's a little chilly outside, the recipe that we submitted is raw, but we're actually gonna be cooking our recipe today. So just one thing to note, a little bit of difference between what we have sent out and what we're actually doing in class today. So I cut my half into another half, which makes it a quarter.
Ooh, learning math.
Math. We're cooking, math is everywhere all the time. We just have to look for it.
You don't even have to look for it. It comes right at you.
There you go. There we go. Waste not, want not. Do, 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 do. So I'm gonna put that on top. And now we're gonna use our bear claw, which allows for us to chop ingredients. So we curl our hands into a little claw, and then we put the knife right up against our knuckles, but our tippy of our fingers are curled under so that they're not gonna get chopped. And then we move down and forward to chop our onion.
What shape are you making?
I actually think I might keep these long.
I think I'm gonna make little cubes because I don't know. That's just my personal preference for any type of onion.
Yeah, I kind of like them this shape. They're really pretty. And I'm not using a lot of onion. They're gonna be spread over 4 different ones. So I'm gonna keep them this way.
Ooh,
And I'm also gonna cook them, so they're gonna cook down a lot.
I'd put onions anywhere.
You love onion, huh?
I love it.
Love it.
I hated it growing up, but once I started to like cook more for myself, I realized, oh my god, this goes so well. It's so much stuff.
It adds a lot of flavor. It's what we call a pungent flavor. It's a flavor that takes over a lot of other flavors if you were to mix it with things. Another pungent flavor is the garlic clove. So to prepare our garlic, we're going to take our knife and press down on it with our body weight to remove the skin. Skin is not very yummy. You gotta remove it before we eat it.
Well, I'm crying from the onion.
Yeah, it has a lot of, I forget what the texture.
Sulfur.
Sulfur is what makes your eyes burn, huh? Fun. So I'm going to remove the butt of the garlic. Doesn't taste good either. And then we're gonna use our bear claw again to chop up our garlic. And I'm gonna now mince this because, again, this is a pungent flavor and I want the garlic flavor to be spread out over all of my ingredients. So the best way to do that is to make it into tiny, tiny little pieces. So I chopped it one more time. And now I'm gonna take my knife, put the knife tip on the cutting board, and then in a clockwise motion, or counterclockwise, I should say, move my knife over top of the garlic clove to help get it into even smaller pieces. And then you'll use your knife to get it back into a little circle. So it's get nice and small.
I just turned on my stove because I like to cook my onions and my garlic for a bit longer.
Woohoo! So we have our onions and our garlic ready. I'm gonna put it all in one plate so I can pour it into my.
I got a double one.
A double clove?
Yeah, both of them were under the same skin.
Oh!
And they're connected, but they're.
It's garlicception.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to chip on some of these. This is our spinach. We want these to be in ribbons. So what does that mean? We want this to be in small, tiny little pieces to go into our dish. And the way we're going to do that, you can see I'm stacking my leaves on top of each other. And then I'm going to roll it up. And then I'm going to use my bear claw again to chop it into ribbons. Ta-da! Nice, beautiful little ribbons. And this is a lot of spinach, so I'm probably, not going to make you guys sit here and watch me chop all of it right now. I like to multitask. So we're going to show you just again one more time how to chiffonade so you guys can do it yourself. We get more and more, as much spinach as I can at one time. And I'm actually going to turn my goes on. It's gonna take a little while for it to heat up. I'm using a butane stove, so I can show you guys how to cook.
Ooh. I can just show you right here. I have my onion and my chopped garlic
Nice.
starting to,
So you're also gonna have to chop your tomato, right?
yup. Let me show that in a second. I just want to make sure that that's, oh,
So the combo of the tomato and the lemon is gonna be really delicious.
that's what I'm hoping.
Good, nice, bright flavor profile. So I'm gonna roll these again. Bear claw.
Oh, I am crying so much.
Oh no! You have to get goggles.
Probably should, yeah.
Well, another thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna chop a section of this, and then I'm gonna grate my cucumber. This is gonna be a topping that we put on at the end of our recipe. So I have this really handy grater that allows me to stand it up, and it has a collection thing in the back. And I'm gonna go against the grain of the grate. Be a nice bright and light flavor profile. Cucumbers are pretty much mostly water, but they're also full of really good fiber. So this is a really great option to add extra fiber to your diet. A lot of kids don't get enough fiber because they don't eat fresh fruits and vegetables. So any way you can add fresh vegetables into a dish is a great way to get those vitamins and nutrients that your body needs to grow. So you can see that all the water that came out from my cucumber.
Wow.
It's a lot.
All right. I'd say I'm going to be super careful with my tomato.
Your tomato is also full of a lot of water.
Yeah. If you have to be super delicate when you crush it. I mean, when you cut it, because if you crush it a bit by accident, it can. I'm gonna make sure my.
What's gonna happen?
Right. It can release a lot of juices, and I don't want too much to be released right now.
Da-da-da. I have my cucumber ready. And I'm going to spread out across all of my tacos. My little end I'm going to put into my garbage bowl. This over here for now.
Like, I like everything nice and cubed.
All the same size, right? Because we want everything to cook at the same rate.
Yes, indeed. All right.
So as you're cutting your tomato, I'm going to prepare a little bit more spinach. And then I'm going to start toasting my tortillas.
Ooh.
So spinach is also full of water. And when you cook it, it shrivels down into tiny, tiny little pieces, which is why you need a lot of spinach to actually make a difference in a dish.
You can leave this down.
Tomato looks great.
Thank you. Look at this. It's starting to brown a bit. That's exactly what I want.
What are you cooking over there?
My onions and my garlic.
Oh, so you're already ahead of me. Okay, so I'm going to start toasting my tortillas. Ba-da. Rotation. Now you can see the cast iron. So I have a cast iron skillet over here. This conducts heat very easily. I like to cook literally everything in a cast iron skillet. It goes on top of the stove and it also goes into the oven. We have to be careful when you cook with it because it is iron, and so that this handle is going to be really, really hot to the touch. Whoop. Turn it up a little bit. So I'm going to be toasting 4 tacos so everybody can try this amazing, yummy recipe.
Make around 2.
What'd you say?
I think I'm gonna make around 2-ish. Oh.
So with this recipe being supposed to be for 4 people, you had to have the recipe, right? Because you're doing it for 2 people. Again, fractions.
Woohoo!
Fractions are everywhere.
Oh my god, I haven't done fractions in so long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are you learning in school about math right now?
Well, now we've just started again, so it's good that I'm getting some prep because we started doing trig functions.
What is it?
Trig functions, so sine and cosine.
Oh, I remember that. I don't know if we're going to be using that when we cook, though.
Unfortunately, not.
Oh, I'm going to get some real life.
Calculate the area of the pan. Ooh.
Oh, there you go. What's it gonna not use it? Thanks for the kitchen, everybody. I'm use a fork to flip.
Oh, look at that! Look at that color.
Oh my goodness! Look at all the beautiful color of vegetables.
Ooh, I should have added peppers.
Oh, that's a good option too. So I'm dry roasting my tortillas right now. I'm working backwards because I know my base is going to need to be toasted, and all my ingredients are going to release water and other kinds of flavors onto my pan, and I don't want to clean it in the middle of class. So I'm dry roasting my stuff now.
I'm using 2 different pans.
Okay.
What are you doing with your beans, your garbanzos?
I'm going to be cooking them. So I'm
Ooh.
going to be putting my olive oil on here once these toast with my onions and garlic, and that's going to get cooked together, and then I'm going to add my chickpeas cooked down.
First one thing.
Woohoo! I think the first one looks like got a good char on it. Do it. Secret. We got it going high now, so it'll cook faster. Lainey and Jojo, are you cooking with us too? I don't see cooking going on.
Yeah, tell her. Yes.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see how it all turns out.
My tortillas are looking great.
What'd you say?
My tortilla that's on the cast iron is looking great.
Oh, nice. Oh, you have multiple cooking surfaces, so that's why
Mm-hmm.
things are happening so quick. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit because I don't want to put up a fire alarm. Weep. Do just about 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna get started on the stuffing. Yeah, getting some nice good char marks on here. And then we're gonna put the rest of the ingredients in.
Look at this now.
Whoa, yum, that looks so colorful. That's exactly what we want.
That's exactly what I have.
All right, now that my tortillas are ready, it's time to put the oil in the pan, set the base, and I'm gonna add my seasonings to the oil. So I'm putting my pepper and my salt in. And the reason that I'm adding my seasonings now is that the oil is made up of fat, and the fat absorbs all the flavors of the spices, so that everything that I put into the spices or into the oil is going to flavor everything. I'm also putting paprika, very little.
A little bit of crushed chili peppers. But
Oh,
just
nice.
a few
Definitely
flakes.
spicy.
Yeah, because that makes it nice and spicy. And I'm gonna put it in now, which is a lot closer to the end, so it has less time to get everywhere.
Now I'm cooking my onion.
I've already made the mistake of putting it way at the beginning, and I put a bit too much at the beginning.
Oh,
And wow, it was spicy when I took it out.
I got my onions and my garlic. I'm gonna saute this for about a minute before I start adding my chickpeas. We want the onions to get a little bit soft. And this pan is really, really hot. So if you aren't using a cast iron, you probably have to cook it for 2 to 3 minutes. But because this pan is so hot, I don't think I need to cook it as long before it gets a little bit softer. I'm just moving it around.
Ooh, are you gonna put your cucumbers in last?
I'm putting the cucumbers on top at the end for a garnish. It's gonna be cucumbers on top with a feta cheese and a little bit of sour cream.
Ooh.
All the dairy. I try to get all the dairy we can in our diets because it keeps our bones strong. And if we eat our diets when have a calcium when we're young, it prevents us from getting osteoporosis when we're older, which is a disease that a lot of older people suffer from. All right, so my garlic is looking like it's pretty cooked, and my onions look like they're softening. So I'm gonna add my chickpeas now.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
My fire alarm going off.
Getting too hot in the kitchen.
Bit too much smoke is coming out of my
That happens to me all the time, especially when I'm making tacos.
I hide my fire alarm in the bathroom when I cook.
Oh,
Take it up a lot in the bathroom.
small apartments in New York can't handle it.
can't handle the heat.
Woo! Why do we chickpeas? I'm gonna add a little bit more of pepper.
The cast iron is a bit too hot for my tacos. Look how the sides are a bit burnt.
What'd you say?
That my cast iron for
Tacos?
yeah, for my where I was cooking my my tortillas.
Huh?
Bit too hot. I mean, look at this.
Rub your eye.
Oh, wow.
If you don't rub your eye.
Yeah.
Mm.
So these take a little longer to cook, so I'm gonna saute this a little bit more before I add my spinach because spinach cooks really quickly.
Yeah, I think I added my spinach a bit too early. But
Spinach
mine
just
looks
needs like a
really good.
minute to 2 minutes max. Otherwise, we'll get it very, very, very mushy. Oh, it smells so yummy. I wish I had smell-o-vision for you guys.
Same. I mean, mine looks.
Woo, I got another fly away.
Okay.
Chickpea does not want to be eaten today. So one thing that we don't really talk about a lot, but I think we should talk about more, is tasting as we are cooking. So taking a little bit of a taste. So that we can adjust flavors as we go. And because of that taste, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. Just a little smidge.
But make sure you don't add too much because remember about
The feta cheese. Yep. I just want the chickpeas to have a little bit more salty flavor.
I'm gonna try serving a little bit.
My onions are looking really yummy. Getting super, super
Look at
soft.
this. This is looking so good.
Oh wow, you're already plating. Look at you. Things move fast with this recipe though. I'm gonna now add my spinach.
There we go. Then my feta cheese.
Feta cheese. So much freshness. Looks beautiful.
Ooh, wow.
This is a, I would say, Middle Eastern inspired recipe with all the flavors that we have. We have chickpeas and cumin and spinach and feta cheese.
If you want to take a cover and steam it, that'll cook faster.
Ooh.
Tiny
So we
bit.
had a suggestion from our director of youth programming to add a lid to steam the spinach,
Break
which is
down.
very smart.
Oh, wow.
That'll work.
So we're going to put this on top, and it's going to allow for our greens to wilt a lot faster than if it was just through direct heat. And now we wait.
On a bit of sour cream.
What'd you say?
I'm gonna put on a bit of sour cream on top of mine.
Ooh.
Because this is giving me some flashbacks to eating tacos in school. And whenever we'd eat it, you always have to have your sour cream on it.
Oh, absolutely. It's the finisher. Makes everything better.
Mm-mm.
While I'm waiting for my spinach to steam, I'm going to mince some parsley. So I'm doing my bear claw to get it chopped initially, and then going on top of it like I did before.
Some red peppers and all that. That'd give it a beautiful color.
Ooh, I hear something happening inside of my cast iron. Yum. Getting nice and wilted and beautiful.
All right. Look at that.
Woo. Very beautiful.
All right.
I'm gonna give it a little taste and see if before I start plating mine.
One. All righty.
Delicious. I'm gonna turn my heat off.
My lemon. I almost forgot to put that.
Oh yeah, lemon is perfect to add as a top. Acidity brightens up a dish.
All right. This is looking great.
I think you could go to the restaurant with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now I'm going to get my base of my tacos out. So I'm laying my toasted tortillas down on my plate and adding my sauteed onions, garlic, spinach, and chickpeas on top.
No, one of my feta pieces fell.
Going back to the chef zone so you can see. So I have my base laid out here. Now I'm going to take my feta cheese. I'm going to cut off a little block. I'm actually going to just use my hands here to crumple it. This is a really malleable cheese to work with. Malleable means you can shape it with your hands. Vocab word of the day. So I got my cheese on top. I'll put my fresh parsley.
Too greedy there. I don't know if I'll be able to fit everything onto one last taco.
Oh,
There
then we have our cucumber. Take my fork and spinach. Get it out. What'd you say?
One super taco with
Super taco.
It's gonna have 50% more than every other taco.
For someone who's really hungry.
Exactly. I miscalculated a tiny bit. There we go. I don't even think I can add much.
And the last piece, creme de la creme.
Mm-mm. It's overflowing right now with what? The cucumbers, ooh, the feta. Absolutely overflowing.
It's done. Woo. All right, let's show everybody what we made so they can see our creations. Dun, 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 dun. Lady and Jojo, do you have something to show us?
Ooh, I'm excited.
Oh, things are happening. I can't see.
I don't know how to flip the camera. There we go.
Yum. Wow, those are super tacos too. They look so good. So it looks like you got some avocado in there.
Yeah.
Avocado, tomato. Yum,
Black-
this is so
Are
good.
those black beans? Are those black beans?
Yeah.
Yum. Yeah, that's awesome that you took it and made it your own.
That sounds delish.
So you know what time it is? It's time for all of us to try. You guys ready?
You take a bite?
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. I think I'm gonna try my super taco.
So good.
Mmm,
Yum. Mm, 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 mm.
absolutely delicious.
So
So yeah, it's not fitting inside the taco. It's absolutely overflowing.
it's falling apart. The taco cannot be contained.
Chunks of it are just falling out.
Mm.
Mm.
So good. How do you like your tacos, ladies? Looks like it looks good.
How do you like the tacos?
Good, good.
Mm-hmm. All right, who won? Who
Would
won
you
the
guys
battle?
make it again? Lainey and Jojo, would you make it again?
Would you make the same thing again?
Yes.
Great.
Yay!
I think next time we'd have them eat at the table though. They're a little
A little messy, right?
yeah.
You have cheese all over the floor now. Oh, well.
We have one final question. Who won the battle today?
Mm.
Have that question up.
I made sure to eat on top of my another taco, so all the parts of my tacos that fell on top of another taco.
Ah.
I think if Tila's going to be in it, we need to see her taco.
Tila!
I used, okay, hold on. I used black beans and I added egg to make it like a breakfast taco.
Ooh, cool.
But something very strange has happened to me. I
What?
just opened my packet of tortillas and it says there's 8, but there's only 5.
They lied to you.
And I'm super confused.
It was
I will
not.
go back to that store and complain.
There's literally only 5. I like made extra and then I checked to make sure I just opened it now and I did. So I don't know how that happened.
That's not okay. Not good.
There might have been a tortilla thief in the store.
But I just opened it. So now I sadly only have 3 tacos less than I wanted,
That's sad.
but it's very good.
That it sure is.
All right. David, you won.
Woo!
Your super taco won.
I mean, look at that. Like,
Awesome.
the taco's absolutely destroyed because half of my super taco fell inside.
Well, congratulations. I'm very proud.
Thank you.
Also very proud of Lainey and JoJo. If I was able to vote, you would have gotten my vote. You did an amazing job. So if you haven't eaten everything already, make sure to take a picture of your taco and put it on Instagram
Ooh.
so we can win a prize. You want to hashtag FuelUpTBC and tag at FuelUp, at Family Cook NYC and American Dairy Council, NE. And if you want to follow what we're doing, you follow me at Family Cook NYC and David at David underscore Gransard.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. And the fun isn't ending here, you guys. Tomorrow, we're doing an Instagram live and we're making zucchini lasagna roll-ups.
Lasagna. Wow.
Imagine what lasagna means, guys. We're making lasagna noodles or zucchini noodles that look like lasagna. It's super, super delicious. It's like my new favorite thing to make. And I hope to see you there at 4 p.m. tomorrow. All right? Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And I love your tacos. They look so good.
Incredible, delicious tacos. I mean,
You guys are showstoppers. Master junior chefs.
I'm actually putting a bit more lemon on top of mine.
Yum.
I did not put enough for that one because the lemon gave it a taste. Just beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for coming and chefing it up.
Mhm.
I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for coming.
See ya.